Hello, everybody, and welcome to Drafts and Drafts. This is Drafts and Drafts podcast with Timmy McBee and Adam E. Welcome to episode 11, and we got an absolute clanger of an 11th episode tonight for you. I am your host, Timmy McBits, and I'm here with my co-host and longtime friend, the California Classic, Mr. Adam E. Adam, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty well. We're going a little dark tonight, but as our resident bad boy, I'm feeling pretty good about it. How are you doing?
I'm good. That's a bold statement, Eddie. Resident bad boy. I didn't even get any say in that. I mean, I don't think you're wrong. I think that's a pretty fair. Knowing you're volatile, you're dangerous. I don't know. If you ask any of our friends, I think they'd probably agree. But we have a guest on the show that's challenging for the resident bad boy spot. Just the appearance alone is throwing him up there to the top. And for those of you that don't know, this is a pretty good friend of Adam and I's. The first time that I met him was over a decade ago, and it was Halloween night, very villainous. And he was dressed as Ron Burgundy, and he was Ron Burgundy to my Champ Kind and to Adam's Brick Tamland. And so we had a great group costume. He's a man of many talents. He loves to run. He loves to bike. He brews. Well, he doesn't brew. He roasts his own coffee beans, I should say. And I've tried them. They're fantastic. We share a passion for cigars and especially for beer. And something that we passionately disagree on is that I believe in chilled beer glasses, and he certainly does not. Either way, we're pretty happy to have him on the show tonight. A pretty knowledgeable beer guy. It's Tito. Tito, how are you doing tonight?
I am great. Thank you, Timothy? Can I call you Tim?
You can call me Tim. You can call me whatever you want.
I can't think of two worse guys to spend a Tuesday evening with. It's a pleasure for you to have me.
Well, go ahead.
I think I first met him probably in September of that year, but we looked back at pictures from first year, and we had a party in our room once, and I remember seeing pictures of Tito around, and I was like, oh, that's random, but yeah.
So we got a good show for you tonight, and we're really excited to get into it. This is kind of a unique topic. Before we do, Adam, how did last week go? I mean, I don't really want to. We don't have to get too into the specifics. Just a quick high level summary.
Yeah, in third place with 19%, Tim McBee. Second place, Steph with 31% of the vote, and I guess the resident grill master as well, Adam E, with 51% of the vote. So came out on top, looking to go back to back. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah,
50% is a big number. I've shipped to you the grilling apron that says I can't even remember what it said. Grill something, Grill Master, Grill King. So it's on its way. I've obviously been stripped of that title, and that's fine. I mean, listen, what I've learned is that props only get you so far. You need the picks. Flash and pizzazz is great, but if you're not good on paper, people aren't going to like you. And Tito, I mean, you'll look great, but are you confident that you're going to do well tonight?
Well, you see, Timmy, I have a deep background in being a villain. I mean, number one, just look at me. I didn't even have to buy clothes for this. I just had them. Number two, the amount of times I've jaywalked, criminal, absolute criminal.
Okay.
You might know I share a bed with someone. I do toots in it all the time. Villainous.
Yeah.
And worst of all, I did not call my grandmother on her birthday. So
Brutal.
I'm bringing it.
Okay. So we're playing with the big boys tonight, Adam. We got some serious evil going on.
Yeah.
I can feel it. I mean, Tito's only, I think, 5 minutes away from me, but I can feel it over here. So, for those of you that don't know, tonight we are drafting a villain all-star team. We're going to get into the topics and explain some of the categories and explain it. But quickly, if you haven't seen this before, Drafts and Drafts is a show where we pick a theme, we pick categories, and we draft our way through the categories. Each one of us is going to pick something for every category. And by the end, we're going to have a roster of selections. And then we will post those choices on Instagram for you. Our Instagram's at Drafts and Drafts Podcast, and we will rely on your input and your votes. We appreciate all the support we've received thus far. I don't appreciate getting 19% of the vote last week, but listen, it is what it is. You got to roll. It's water off the back. You got to just keep going with it. So I feel good about this week. And so, Adam, what's the categories tonight, man? What are we going through here?
Yeah, normally I post them on Instagram before, completely forgot. So sorry about that. 6 categories tonight: cartoon villain, movie villain, a monster, a bumbling hero, an evil layer feature, and for your villains, they need a PG-rated dastardly plan. So
yeah, we're keeping it family friendly. Nothing too sinister. Although I don't know, Tyler, you got some sinister looks going on already. So we'll see. Nothing. We're not planning on getting super devious, but we'll find out. I feel like inconvenience is going to be a major theme for me, at least. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. And so before we jump into the main draft of the evening, we got to talk about our secondary but equally important drafts to make up the Drafts and Drafts podcast. So Tito, I'm going to start with you. What do you got going on for your draft tonight?
Absolutely. So I went topical tonight. So here we have Al, obviously styled on Al Capone, a notorious villain, by Bandit Brewery, the real bad boys of the Toronto beer scene. It's a double IPA, 3 hops, so Adam's going to like it.
Yeah.
Coming in at 8.2 ABV, it's going to be a good one.
So has that beer been convicted of tax evasion, or is it like what's going on there? Is it on
its way?
It's on the way. Okay. Adam, what do you got going on?
Yeah, I'm also going with a double IPA. Mine's a hazy double IPA from Paperback Brewing in Glendale, California. Try to keep it topical as well, and it is called Bunny with a Chainsaw. So I thought that was kind of a devious thing for a bunny to have, so at least a little topical. So we'll see.
Buddy with a chainsaw.
Yeah,
that's very sinister.
Maybe I draft it. We'll see.
Okay. So I again, I was going with the more family friendly. What's a common? I don't know, PG-13. I'm thinking Space Jam. I'm thinking Aliens. I'm thinking Space Invader. So I got Amsterdam's Space Invader. It's just a regular IPA. It's not a double IPA. 6%. I've had it before, and I've had it, right down at the brewery, right on the water. It's a great spot, and so I'm excited. I think it's going to be good for tonight. And I got a little skull in the background here, so should be good. And so now, before we jump into the real draft, Tito, as we always do, we got to let the guest pick their position. So do you know where in the order between first, second, or third you want to draft tonight?
If someone gives you a choice for first pick and you don't take it, you're doing it wrong. Number 1.
You're going with the first overall, first category. All right. That's a good... Adam, do you even remember where you picked last week? I don't remember, but...
Second. I think it was my first time drafting second.
Okay.
And,
okay, so do you even want to do this? Do you want to just... maybe I want second. We'll find out.
Yeah.
All right, I got the coin, you got the pick, so I'm going to flip it. This is going to be hard to do. I can't see it that well in these, but if I catch it, we're doing okay. All right, you ready?
Yeah. Tails never fails.
It is tails. Nice. Okay.
Okay.
Second or third?
I think I have 2 pretty good ones for all of them, so I think I'm going to stick with second spot.
All right.
So.
Well, I will happily select third. That's fine. I get to see what direction you guys are heading, and then pick some for myself. So that sounds good to me. Okay. Well, with that, we can jump right into it. We got 6 categories on the board. Tito, you got the first overall selection, and what are you going to take?
We're going to be drafting our movie villain first.
The movie?
Because I think there's one that really shines above the rest and ties into my dastardly plot. And that's Dolores Umbridge from Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Number 1, she's a witch. She can just do magic. That's pretty hard to beat. She's the ultimate Karen, so it's topical. She's a government bureaucrat, so she's going to be working those back channels that are going to be crucial. She's ruthless. She's not afraid to just cut kids, which, whoa, Harry Potter, that's a lot. And she knows the education system, as she was both a teacher and a headmaster.
Is that going to be relevant later?
You might say it would be.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Interesting. Okay.
Definitely some intrigue there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like it. I like it. You built some suspense. Very, very disliked movie character. For anybody that's seen the movies. That's a great choice. She is terrifying and infuriating. She's not physically imposing, but everything else about her. I mean, if you don't like pink, I guess in theory she's pretty horrible. And she did some pretty nasty. She choked out a centaur. Yeah, she carved letters into children's hands. She's pretty terrible. She's pretty terrible.
Yeah, I don't know if it was worth the first overall pick though. Like you chose your spot in line to pick her, not kind of like one of your classic movie villains. So I think there's a little bit of a gap to her. I know she's crucial for your plan, so I understand why she might have jumped up the ranking for you. But yeah, wasn't on my radar at least. So.
Yeah, I thought about it. I got a list of I gotta be honest, I got a list of about 8 here, and she wasn't one of the 8. However, you got a direction, and you're heading somewhere, and we got to see where the train's gonna pull into the station. So, all right, okay, Adam. Well, you wanted second overall.
Yeah.
What are you gonna take with your choice?
Yeah. So everyone loves dogs, right? Everyone loves dogs.
Where's this going?
It is known.
Yeah, they're all good boys and good girls, and so someone who'd want to hurt dogs is going to be one of the greatest villains of all time, especially if they want to make like a code out of them or something. So I'm going to go with Cruella de Vil as my movie villain. For all the good boys and good girls out there, she's terrible. Like she's just no one should hurt dogs. No one wants to hurt dogs. I think she's a great villain for that. She has the look too. She's just classically sinister. So Cruella de Vil, number 2. I'm good with it.
And does she? I mean, you don't have to reveal. Does she tie in? I mean, I imagine she ties into your plot in some way.
I don't have like a deep theme, but
Okay,
I just need kind of.
You got to go with the overarching evil.
Yeah.
Disliked. That's fair. She was on my cartoon villain list. I mean, I didn't know, like, cartoons. I know we did like, it's like movies, cartoons.
There's a live action one, so
yes, yeah.
So I figured it was fine.
No, I don't think that's a veto. I mean, there's a 101 Dalmatians movie. It was one of the great Disney movies. So for sure, reasonable choice. Yeah, her motivation to like essentially skin dogs alive and use their fur as coats, pretty awful. What's worse than hurting children? Probably hurting. I don't even want to get into it. I was going to say hurting innocent animals. It's all terrible. You guys have picked all terrible things. So congratulations.
Yeah, there's other villains where you can at least kind of like see where they're going with it. Maybe they want revenge. Maybe they're like
they want power.
They want power. They want revenge. That one, what? She just wants a coat.
She just wants.
She fancy
fashion icon.
So like
in her mind,
I don't think the actions fit the outcome. So
Tito?
I just don't understand. Yeah.
Thoughts on that?
It's not bad. She's pretty crappy as a person. She smokes out of one of those big long sticks, which that's something. Like just hold your cigarette, I guess. But I don't know. She got outsmarted by dogs, so I mean, like the danger factor's low on this pick.
Danger factor. Okay.
Maybe shouldn't make an all-star team. Okay, fair enough.
That's a good counterpoint. That is a good counterpoint. So Tito, you picked a witch. I got to pick something that's even more powerful than a witch with my selection, and that is going to be a god. And so I'm going to pick a character that is both loved and hated, depending on the scene, the situation, and the events. And I'm going to go. My first pick is going to be Loki. So Loki, number 1. Great character, somebody that is at the time was the head villain of the number 1 grossing movie franchise of all time. After that, showed way more personality to him. There's flaws, there's pros, lots going on there. But to me, what's really important is his abilities. So number 1, he's got combat skills. He's hard to kill. He can shapeshift. He's clever. He's devious. He can blend in. He can do evil things when he needs to. He's pretty ruthless while at the same time having a heart. And so I like the complexity of the character. I have a plan for him, and I'm really glad I got him. So, just in terms of like somebody that took on the most powerful group of superheroes in the world and lived to tell the tale, I like his guts. So I'm gonna go with Loki for my selection.
He's got the raw attributes. I think in like a villain combine, he would do quite well. Just in terms of abilities, I'm not a big Marvel guy, so I don't really have too much to say against it. I know Thanos is an even greater villain, so I don't know how he stacks up against him.
You'll see why. But that's a fair point. Thanos is also just like terrible in general. That's a good point. I'm not going for like the best of the best. I'm going to use his specific skills. So
okay,
yeah, Tito.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's very good. You need like a sneaky guy in your team to do that back channel stuff that I was mentioning. But as soon as it looks, or even that he thinks that he's not winning, he's switching sides. He's done it before. He'll do it again.
That's true. Umbridge was extremely loyal to Fudge, so yeah, you got the loyalty factor going with yours. Okay. Well, I don't know, guys. I got the next category. Do we jump right into the plot, or I don't know? Do we want to build the intrigue? I'm gonna think about that.
It's up to you.
Yeah, okay, all right. We're gonna set the scene with our villains, and then we're gonna move down from there. So for the next category, I'm gonna go with my cartoon villain. So cartoon villain, I got a lot on the list. There's a lot of good choices out there. This is a throwback selection to a cartoon that I loved as a kid, and I think my sister loved this as a kid because she always called me one of the characters. And that is going to be the Brain from Pinky and the Brain. So Pinky and the Brain, great combination of characters. I love both of them. They both have their redeeming qualities. Pinky's got too good of a heart, so Pinky's cut. He's out. He's an idiot. He screws things up. I'm gonna go with the Brain for a number of reasons. Number one, he's a mouse. Again, we're going for like inconspicuous. We're going for blending in. He's got extremely deep knowledge of technology. He's sinister. He wants to get stuff done. He never really wants to like hurt anybody, but he wants power. Loki wants power, and he's gonna do what it takes to make it happen. And even when he has somebody that's constantly getting in the way, which we're trying to avoid this time. So I'm going to unleash the full potential of the Brain with his technological savviness, and he's going to be my co-villain with Loki.
Good chemistry on the team. They're both aligned on their goal. Brain's just classic character. Physically, don't know if he can compete, so I think you're going to have to... And Loki's pretty like thin and slender too, right?
Hey, we still got a third category left.
So you might have to make that up somewhere else. I don't know, but I think it's a good pick. So,
Tito,
what do you got?
Yeah, I agree. He does have a technology kind of savviness to him, but I believe the part you're forgetting is that his plans never work, and it's Pinky who saves the day in every episode.
Pinky frequently saves the day, which is fair. Pinky stops like the worst from happening, but I see the potential that the Brain has, and I'm gonna put him in an environment to finally accomplish his goal. So that's a fair point, and I was expecting that criticism. Because I think Pinky screws things up as much as he fixes them sometimes. Like but that's just like dumb luck. I mean, that's Pinky. So I'm gonna take a guy that's uninhibited by his coworkers and let him, go to town on my eventual dastardly plot.
Yeah, potential doesn't win championships. Execution does. So
okay. All right, Adam. And with your second pick, what are you going to be taking?
Between two here. I think I'm going to go. I don't remember much about this show, but I remember he was pretty villainous, and he had a Japanese accent for some reason, which I always thought was kind of weird. But I'm going to go with Mojo Jojo from the Powerpuff Girls. So I think he's created by the same scientists as like the Powerpuff Girls and Mojo Jojo. And he's got a big brain. So
was he? I thought the Powerpuff Girls were created by their dad.
Yeah, and then I think he also created Mojo Jojo,
okay.
Right?
I don't know. I don't know enough to create. I don't know enough to. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I ruined your flow.
You are not drawing on my expertise here.
Yeah, which is honestly why I didn't pick him. He was on my list, but okay. I didn't know enough. Yeah. Anyways,
fair enough.
Keep going.
So I think he wants, his ultimate goal is to destroy these three little girls. Cruella de Vil wants to destroy puppies. Both terrible things to do. So I think there's at least some chemistry there. Each one kind of has their moment there, their individual target, but I think they can align enough, and hopefully he fits well in the locker room. And I think he's pretty powerful, pretty smart. Can kind of take care of some of the technology side, similar to the Brain. Cruella de Vil doesn't really mess around with that. She's just more pure evil. So I think I have the right role players on my team so far. So.
You're going for destruction of innocence is what I'm getting out of this thus far.
Yeah.
Okay. Hard to argue with that as a villain goal. I mean, that's
a villainous thing.
That's a pretty noble villain pursuit, I guess, from their perspective. Tito, what are your thoughts on this Mojo Jojo selection?
I can't hate it. He's a big monkey. That's pretty cool. I don't know enough about his shortcomings to like refute it. I watched a lot of Pinky and the Brain, so you walked into that one, Jimmy. But so seems reasonable.
Yep. Okay. I agree. I mean, I think he's got some combat skills, if I remember correctly.
He does, yeah.
So that, which is good, yeah. And like
some gloves.
He's what's the word where you don't expect the amount of power and evilness from unimposing, I guess. Like you would look at him and be like, I don't think he's capable of destruction, and he is. So
consistently underestimated.
Underestimated. Thank you. That's what I was trying to say. So yeah, good choice. Good choice. All right. So you got two cartoon characters though. So that's interesting. It's not going to matter.
Live action Cruella de Vil.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going with the actual live action movie. Sorry,
I think that's
you said that and I missed it.
Fair.
I missed it.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting choice. All right, Tito, what do you got to round out this category?
All right. Well, I have my 3 to pick from here, so I'm feeling pretty good. I'm going just the most classic, Lex Luthor from the Superman and Justice League cartoons. This is why. So he's the CEO of a company. Clearly, he knows how to make the money. You put him in charge of the supervillain team. He'll run it like a business. What's more evil than that? He's a genius. We need some smarts on the team. We've got the ruthless, cunning Dolores with us. So we got to have some more genius level. He's a criminal mastermind. And then also just a funny story, as I was looking him up, somebody has vandalized his Wikipedia page and said he's the CEO of Amazon. That's not true. It's LexCorp. But finally, clearly,
we don't know.
He's a style icon for me. I'm trying to look as much like him as I can.
You do kind of look like Jesse Eisenberg. I can see that. It's true. No, I mean, come on. Well, I'm curious. What's your? Do you have a select because he's been played by multiple actors? Do you have a preference about who's played him in your? I guess he's a cartoon, right? So you're going with the cartoon pick, so it doesn't matter. Okay. I mean, listen. Go ahead.
Is he an educator though?
He is not an educator.
I don't know what the plan is, but it seems like that might be a bit of an issue here. But
we've got both of those bases covered.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Educator, non-educator.
But you're gonna have business butting heads with education, and you're gonna have is Umbridge gonna be as loyal to
a lot of assumptions?
Gonna be
as loyal to Lex Luthor as she was to Fudge? I don't know. Maybe.
If the money's right.
If the money's right, that's true. Okay.
Everyone has their price, and I think based on 2016 to 2020, anyone who's a great business owner has great leadership qualities, right? Not to get political on it, but
in the villain world, should probably
you could argue it.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. No. Okay. I mean, yeah. No knocks. He never wins. Is the only thing I'll say. He really doesn't ever accomplish his goal. So similar to the Brain in that sense. But then again, the Brain was up against nothing, and Lex Luthor was up against Superman. So different enemies in that sense. Yeah.
I did see someone in the chat say Mr. Burns. That was the other one I was considering.
Oh, yeah.
I know there's a Simpsons episode where they basically just steal the plot of 101 Dalmatians, so I don't want to double down too much there.
There's a lot of good ones on the board, and we can get in for those that don't know, we do an after show for about 20 minutes or half an hour after every episode. So stick around for that, and we can take you through. I got a lot of backups, and I'm curious for your guys' thoughts on this. Okay, Tito, we got our 2 main villains that are leading our cast. let's get into some of the finer details. What are you going to take with the next category?
Yeah, I think I like your idea. Let's round out this cast here. So the last one we have remaining is the monster. Who are you bringing as the muscle to your team? And boys, I've got it. So I am going to take a very large group of gnomes that are connected together in the shape of one giant gnome. A few reasons for this. Number one,
Wait.
everyone knows gnomes are the cause of all technical problems. I've got them all.
What?
So you're
No.
taking all the gnomes in the world, connecting them together.
Into a big gnome.
Like,
Okay.
like lawn gnomes?
Like the mythical animal, creature, monster gnomes.
Okay.
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 Yeah, that was number one on my board too.
Yeah,
Okay,
not so much.
They're
for me.
small enough
Yeah.
to fit through vents. They're getting into wherever you don't want them to. They can disassemble and reassemble. They're big enough then to fight whatever you've got coming at them. And they're not afraid to unplug your Wi-Fi.
A lot of spoilers here for your plan. I don't know if this is
You also, what am I missing? Why do I not know anything about gnomes? And like, are you just representing these facts as true and they could be made up? Like, I've never heard anything about this.
well, like the garden gnomes, right? They're just garden figures of like a mythical creature.
And the mythical creature is known for unplugging your Wi-Fi and causing technical problems.
No, he's just
No, that's an expression though. Like, oh, it was probably the gnomes when something goes wrong. You don't have
No,
something to
that
blame
is-
it on.
That is not an expression. I'm not letting you get away with that. That is not a real thing. Adam, come
Well,
on, come on,
I
back me up
it's
here.
fine. I've never heard it, but
Okay, are you?
It must only run in the villain circles. I guess you guys just aren't
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I'm so confused. I mean,
I think he might be trying to make it a thing.
I think he's trying to make it
Like-
a thing as well. And I'm like, why not pick like? Yeah, Lisa's got a great suggestion in the chat. Why not pick like minions? The minions can actually accomplish everything you just said.
They're not nefarious. They just do whatever.
You can, yeah, but you can turn them.
Gnomes are inherently nefarious.
According to
And that's what we like on the squad.
Okay, this is, I gotta say, you did take my top choice in this guy. That's good. All right, now you're not representing the gnome demographic very well here. But I don't know any better to tell you that you're wrong because I've never met them. So apparently you know something that I don't. Adam, how's that sunset going on over there, man?
I put up a shade and just doesn't seem to be working that well. Thank God I have the shades on.
Yeah, you're looking good.
Next week it'll be figured out. So
okay. Yeah, do you have
yeah.
like, am I crazy here or what? Like, I know we're gonna harp on this one, but I got nothing. Like, that's out there for me.
I've no idea where he's going with this, but I guess the versatility of having small things and a big thing works kind of well. So I kind of see the purpose of it. So I'll give you that.
He's in no man's land. That's very good. That's very good draft. I like that one. Okay.
All right. I also need some muscle, and so I'm just gonna go Godzilla here. So he can terrorize a ton of things. He's strong. I think he wins. He's 1-0 versus King Kong. I didn't actually check. I didn't see the end of that, but yeah, I think he can terrorize a lot of people. I think he's a good monster for my villain team. He's big. He's got the muscle, short arms, but not important in my plan. So I'm good with Godzilla here. Can't get into small places. Like, I'll give you that. Yeah.
Like, he can't go anywhere. He can't. What is he gonna just stand outside your lair and just like tower over everything?
It's protection.
Yeah, I know, but like no matter where he is on Earth, people know what's going on. Like, there's zero.
They can't do anything about it. He's too strong.
I'm just the whole inconspicuous. Like, there can't be any conspicuous aspect of your plan because he's incredibly conspicuous.
I'm kicking down the door and I'm coming in hot. So
You got to play in your strengths.
Yeah.
Are you worried about your ability to give him directions? Because number one, will he understand you? And number two, will he carry them out?
He's here for the same reasons Mojo Jojo and Cruella de Vil are. and that's to win championships. So I think I think he'll be motivated. He'll be in the right direction. So I'm good with Godzilla. I think he'll play for the team.
I will say he likes to like mess things up, but I hope your plan's not in Tokyo because he's like a nefarious defender of that city.
Yeah.
So don't mess with Tokyo or Godzilla's swapping teams.
He will be placed on a different place. It's going to be pretty open too, so he can see things coming, which I think was some of his downfalls. But I think if he has like clear vision, I think he'll excel in this situation. You know, as the GM, I'm just trying to make sure all my my players do as best as they can. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I have to say for this one, this category is by far my hardest. I like half the monsters that people know, like they're so buried in pop culture and people aren't familiar with them, and like it's all over the place. So I'm gonna throw back to something I learned on a past show that Adam taught me, which is monsters also means pocket monsters. So I'm gonna lean towards a Pokemon. I need a specific type of Pokemon.
Oh.
Why are you what?
The whole reason you wanted to do this draft is just so you could throw that back in my face.
No. I just saw it there and I was like, I need a Pokemon. And so I need a specific type of Pokemon, and I'm gonna keep it the mouse theme here with the brain. And I'm gonna go with Pikachu. And I'm not going with Ash's Pikachu, because Ash's Pikachu's a good guy. I'm gonna go with the Pikachu I catch in the wild and can bring up how I want to, like it's not the Pikachu it's it's Pikachu's evil twin brother. So, which is like, to be fair, there's tons of other Pikachus in the wild. Think of the Lieutenant's Raichu that was very evil. So the reason I want Pikachu, number one, mouse, smaller, conspicuous, but powerful, trainable, understands you, all those things. You can teach him what you want to teach him. And number two, I need his electricity for my plan. We're going to be powering some technology. And so I'm like, boom, throw him in there, get his electricity pumping. I'm evil, so am I really worried about like how he wants to? No, I don't care. I'm evil. I'm like, I need him to do what I need him to do. So I just think if he's going to listen to me, he's going to be loyal. He's going to satisfy my power hungry plan. And you know, he can go where like nobody's gonna notice. He's small. He's not like Godzilla, who's just gonna crush buildings everywhere he walks. So I'm going with Pikachu.
Yeah, it's fine. Sure, I viewed it last time, but you're good this time. I was considering maybe making a claim that it's technically an animal, but I think you ripped my head off.
Godzilla's a giant lizard. It's the same thing. I'll veto that. What are you talking about? And like, there's before Tito goes, there are other electric Pokemon. Like I could go like Zapdos or like a Mythic, but I'm trying to go with something that's like more commonplace. And anyway, so yeah, sorry Tito, go ahead.
No, absolutely. I mean, our main criticisms of your team thus far have been that they're small and weak, and you've decided to go with one of the smallest, weakest Pokemon. Because you said specifically not Ash's Pikachu, which would canonically be the strongest Pikachu.
Well, yeah. That you know of. There's a big world out there, Tito.
It is a big world out there.
But yes.
But the muscle has not arrived with your villains.
Would you want to go toe to toe? Would your gnomes? I mean, I'm not. Listen, when you're like I could stack Pikachu's together according like in the same fashion that you have. That doesn't really make sense. I don't know how big your stack of gnomes are, but
I don't know how many there are. There's a lot though.
Yeah, listen, we're not team as a large person. Size isn't everything, guys. It's about having a goal and finding a way to accomplish it. So I think I got my 3 lined up to do exactly what I want to do.
Yeah, I think Tito has a pretty good point there. The strongest Pikachu would be Ash's Pikachu, because I think at your highest peak, you're the second greatest Pokemon trainer to ever exist, and so then you just end up with the second strongest Pikachu. So,
all right,
yeah,
sure. I'll take the second strongest. That's fine. That's all I need. I'm good with that. Okay.
All right. What's next?
As I said, that was the hardest category because all the monsters that I know are like good. They have good, and like Pikachu generally is seen as good, and I know that. So that was tough. I honestly thought about Rufus from Kim Possible, but I thought I'd get torn apart for that one. So
I just went to Jay-Z's verse on Monster. So
Gotcha.
and basically just that's my list basically. So
Fair enough. Okay. I am going. Oh, this is tough. This is tough because there's three that are all very central to our plot, and like we haven't, by the way, guys that are watching, we haven't agreed to leave the plan till the end. You know, we haven't agreed on anything. We're kind of, but we're trying to frame this in a good way. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the evil lair feature. Sorry. So the evil lair, we got our villains, right? And now we have, this isn't where our evil lair is necessarily. It's not, but it's like what's in the evil lair. And this one's a little weird. But I was sitting there and I was thinking, okay, if I'm a villain, and like what are my biggest concerns as a villain? Number one, I'm super stressed because I'm doing terrible things and I'm trying to accomplish a goal. It's a stressful job, right? And I also need probably to launder some money. So, I'm trying to fund my projects in a way that I'm not going to get caught. And so I thought, I'm going to start a business. And what's a business that is both stress relief and money laundering? I'm going to have a doggy daycare. So I have an evil lair. I need some pets for stress relief. And it can be a cash business. I can funnel stuff through there, clean up some money. It's a win-win. I love dogs. I want dogs. I'm going to treat them great. But it's like, what's the downside, guys? And there's no mistreatment of animals here, but like, hey man, somebody, like, would you want to face 20 dogs I would never seek them on, but I'm just saying, I love dogs. I love taking care of animals. It's perfect. You want to drop your dog off? Sure. $2,000, clean your money. Boom. Oh no? Okay.
Yeah, that's I can't have that in my lair. Because Cruella. But I just think it's funny to imagine like villains coming in and being like, oh, like I have to go to work today, but at least I can bring my dog to the doggy daycare. It's right there. Like that's pretty convenient. This evil corporation is a great place to work. Yeah.
There you go.
Also, you're very concerned about like keeping your business clean. Like you need the money laundering.
Yeah.
My like evil plan is like, well, I guess I have Godzilla and you have a Pikachu, but like everyone's going to know about it and no one's going to stop me. So I'm
yeah, we took different approaches.
I'm less concerned about my IRS investigation. So
I'm definitely going for the subtlety to your boldness for sure. And that's, I don't know. I put myself in like, how would I be as a villain? I'm afraid to jaywalk, unlike Tito. I would want to go behind the scenes and, just quietly do my thing. And so that's why I'm picking subtle, capable parties with a business that is a fully operational front.
Yeah, makes sense.
You are restricted in your location because nobody's going to the jungle to drop off their dog for daycare. Like you got to be downtown. This needs to be walkable. That's expensive real estate right there. So you're bringing in money, but you're spending the money.
How do you think doggy daycares operate as it is? They all have, it's the same thing as any business. Of course it costs money, but they find a way.
I always imagine evil lairs like in the side of a mountain. It's like, am I going to walk up there for my doggy daycare?
We didn't specify. Yeah, you're right, but we didn't specify. My first thought was a volcano. That's not a great place for a doggy daycare. I admit that. That's why I didn't pick volcano. I also thought about a tropical island. Again, not a great place. So I'm like, but I'm trying to blend in. I'm trying to be conspicuous.
Fair enough.
I'm probably doing it right in the middle of a city or right in the suburbs of a city with a nice big backyard where all of them can run around and have a good time. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go a little different. For me, this one doesn't really like fit into my plan, but
yeah, mine
every single. I just wanted a value add for your employees.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, every single evil lair I've ever seen. There might be a couple Bond ones that I forget if they have them or not. I don't think so, but every single one has some sort of aquarium. So I'm probably getting a shark aquarium in it.
That was my number. That was a good pick. That was my number 2 pick. That was my number 2 pick. Yeah.
I think if you're like an evil mastermind, you need a lair, and in that lair, you need a shark aquarium. So if I've got a shark aquarium, that means your 2 layers don't, but yours has a doggy daycare. So it's A little bit of both. Different emotional
I also
support, but
thought like I can't sell electricity as a big feature and then have an aquarium. Those don't line up together.
oh yeah, you're trying to be energy efficient as well.
And animal friendly. I mean, one
Oh,
shock into the thing and they all
Yep, sure.
yeah.
Yeah, so every good evil lair has an aquarium and a shark aquarium. So I'm gonna go with a shark aquarium as my evil
Dr.
lair.
Evil, do the sharks have freaking lasers?
They can. I can decide that later, but I've built in the plans for the aquarium, so don't need to go revisit it later. So
Okay. So you're following the layer layout of one of the most thwarted criminal masterminds ever.
a lot of criminal masterminds have shark aquariums, so it just fits the part, you know. So
Okay. Tito?
Yeah, it's classic. Kind of looks cool. You're gonna be spending a lot of money on salt probably, but like that's your ocean. So
yeah,
And you don't have a business to generate money. Also, wait.
yeah, like, are
so you have
people coming to
sharks?
visit? Is this open to the public?
Yeah, that's a good question. Is it open to the public?
No, it's just for you.
That's for my team. Yeah.
So you got sharks and Godzilla. So you're really going with the aquatic theme here.
Godzilla doesn't live in the ocean. Someone said that.
He comes out of it.
He comes out of the
really?
ocean. Yeah, he comes out of the
Yeah.
ocean.
Okay. Yeah, it's not big enough for Godzilla. Godzilla is standing outside. The
Are
line.
you worried
Dip
about
the
the
toes.
sharks' treatment of Mojo Jojo?
Not really, because I don't think Mojo Jojo is going swimming in the shark aquarium. I think only people that we capture we throw into the shark aquarium. Like that's just a classic.
Save on
There's-
food cost.
Yeah, it's either shark aquarium or launch them through a trapdoor. Those are the two ways to get rid of people in an evil lair. So
Okay. All right. Yeah, we had different directions. I think the aquarium is a great choice. I think I would have done the same thing. I would have run a business. I also in your defense, it really sets a mood. Like aquariums, especially when they're like dark and like they set a spooky mood. So if you ever capture your hero and have to explain your evil plan to them, and you tie them and there's just like sharks like swimming in they're like, you know, it could be spooky. I mean, way more spooky than a doggy daycare. So
that's actually exactly what Mojo Jojo's interior designer said when he was building up the lair. So
gotcha.
Makes sense.
Gotcha. All right, Tito, what are you gonna follow that up with?
All right, so I went the same kind of lines as Timmy here. We need to generate some money here, but at the same time, we want to win the hearts and minds of the kids. So we're going to build a streamer studio and just go acquire some streamers, if you will, to just fill it up. Just the real scum of the earth. We're talking the Paul brothers. We're talking Ninja. We're talking XQC. It'll be chock full of people that kids love, but they just are not good people.
Are these
Taking
acquiring
that sweet Twitch money?
Are they acquired legally or illegally?
I mean, you know.
It's a streamer sweatshop, basically.
That's a
It's
better
a streaming studio.
Yeah. Of all these people just saying, "What's up, YouTube?"
And you can, in theory, throw boxing matches with Jake Paul. You know,
Yeah.
put it
we'll
on
have to build a
pay-per-view.
gym, but it'll be worth it. I mean, probably made some money off that. So.
I think he made like 8 figures of money. He made a lot of money off of that last weekend. So that's an interesting choice, man. We had different, you know,
Hearts
we had
and
different thoughts. I'm like, hey, dogs in a heartwarming, happy environment. Adam's like, hey, sharks in a sustainable, livable environment. And you're like, no, I'm taking people and I'm just making them work and make money for me. Those are different directions for sure.
Puppies. Okay, let's get a little darker. Sharks. Let's go a little darker. Children.
Not
And,
children.
like,
These are grown adults.
How are you gonna
Adults, yeah.
how are you gonna stop the streamers from like Morse coding out on stream that they need help? Like, what's your filter system here?
Carrots, sticks. Their choice.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I really need to see what this plan is, but at least they're getting an education in there too.
Yeah.
So
Okay. And we got 2 categories left.
Are they?
I guess we'll have to find out. But you drafted an educator, and that was a very important part of your plan. So
Yeah, I'm curious to see where this is going. All right, we got the bumbling hero, and we got the PG rated dastardly plot. So Tito, what are you gonna round out your choices with here?
I'm fairly confident that nobody has the same
Plot.
dastardly plot.
I
I
agree.
have.
I agree with that.
There exists a very minute possibility somebody picked the same bumbling hero, so we're gonna go there.
I agree. Good choice.
Number one, only choice, is Larry the Cucumber from VeggieTales.
Not on my list.
Great pick.
Mind
though.
you,
Yeah. Oh,
Number
yeah.
one, what's he gonna do? He's a cucumber. Number two, he's gonna hydrate the squad when you end up eating him because he's chock full of water. That's important. He's not very mobile, so like you just fly somewhere else, and the cucumber's got to like flop end over end to get there, or bounce, or however he does it. And he probably doesn't know a whole lot about science.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I guess to set the stage, this was we decided this category was a hero that you hope your team can beat.
Yeah.
And so you're trying to kind of like choose the worst hero.
If a hero walks through the door to thwart your plan, who's the best case scenario for you as a villain? Like, what do you like? Thank God it's you and not, an actual hero. So, Larry the Cucumber.
Yeah, I've dabbled in the world of VeggieTales when I was probably 9 years old. Don't remember too much about Larry, but I remember that he wasn't very mobile. I think the gnomes alone can take care of him, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's.
You got some. You're like the gnomes and the cucumber.
I have no idea what.
And the streamer
The cucumber is just, I don't want him, or no, I do want him coming in.
Yeah.
He doesn't really tie in.
Confused by like
Well,
all of
actually,
these.
he kind of does.
Yeah. He's definitely on like the Washington Generals level. Like that's the team the Harlem Globetrotters play every game. So he's definitely like kind of in that realm of people you'd want to face. So I think I think it's a good pick. Don't really have too much to say on the details of a cucumber. But yeah.
I don't know enough about VeggieTales to be able to provide any serious commentary, but if it's anything like what it sounds, I don't think your plan is in jeopardy. So, good choice. All right, Adam.
All right, I'm up. Okay, I'm gonna go with a cartoon character as well, and so I'm gonna go with. I always forget how you pronounce it, but it's Kuzco from Emperor's New Groove. So he's the emperor who gets turned into a llama. So I'm going to take the llama form of him.
Okay.
So Tim and his buddy trying to he tries to get they try to poison him. They accidentally turn him into a llama. Everyone's seen Emperor's New Groove, right? Is this like
yeah, like
not often, but yes.
I think the last time I watched it might have been with Tito at BJ's cottage in like third year. Like that was fourth year maybe. Yeah. But,
right, well,
like a decade ago. But yes.
Great. It's a great movie, and I think if you have a llama lined up against Godzilla's winning that 100% of the time. So I think I'm in a good spot there.
Yep.
He's likable, but my team isn't very likable right now, so I don't really worry about that. We'll feed him to the sharks if need be. So I'm good with Kuzco.
Like, it's funny because we didn't put any boundaries on this, so it can literally be, some sort of heroic figure, and they'll just and you pick the llama, which, like, hey man, yeah, you could have.
He's the hero in that story, in that film.
I know you could have like. You could have challenged yourself a little more. Like you picked the god monster, and then the equivalent of a sheep, and I'm like, you're gonna win. You're gonna win.
When we were drafting TV rivals, I picked a 10-year-old boy.
Yeah, and I didn't agree with that at the time either.
I just care about winning here. I care about my team winning. So,
can the llama talk?
Yeah, he's vocal.
That's not what I meant, but okay.
He talks a lot too. Yeah, has some pretty good jokes.
So he could like try and reason with you as Godzilla was about to either eat him or step on him.
Godzilla doesn't reason. Godzilla executes.
Would you feed him to the sharks, or would you feed him to Godzilla, or would you use his llama fur as a coat?
That's Godzilla's choice. I don't want to get in his way. So
interesting.
Godzilla does what Godzilla wants.
Sounds like
to
the
do,
monster is running your show instead of the villains.
He's the muscle. So
Okay.
But he's aligned in our plan, which will be coming up. So
Okay. Tito, any?
Yeah, I mean, probably not too hard to beat up a llama as Godzilla. Maybe he won't notice the llama.
fair point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a counter argument to that. I think
Seems reasonable. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. To round out, I went with more of a character that like actually has thwarted plans in his past, but always done so as a team. So he's a lone ranger in what is usually a team setting. He's missing his partner. And in celebration of 420, I thought, who is better than Shaggy Rogers from Scooby-Doo? So Shaggy, number one, is pretty useless on his own. He needs the cast. He needs Scooby to accomplish anything. Normally, he's the one tripping and falling and literally bumbling into some sort of getting caught or getting trapped or getting kidnapped situation, and then he gets saved. He's no physical threat, for sure. And his character is pretty far back in time, so I feel like he's going to be super unfamiliar with technology and therefore be entirely unable to thwart my villains. So if I was going to have anybody stumble into my evil lair or walk in at the last second before I execute on my plan, I got to go with Shaggy. I feel zero threat from him, so he's going to be my choice.
Yeah. Scooby is definitely doing a lot of the heavy lifting of that Scooby-Shaggy duo.
As Giraffe said, Scooby's in my doggy daycare, by the way.
Okay.
He dropped him off. He dropped him. That's how I lured him in, yeah.
But what I'm wondering is if Shaggy can teach Scooby how to talk and like get him to be part of the team, could he do that with the rest of the dogs at your doggy daycare? Well, and now they're no longer providing emotional support, potentially attacking the team here. And your team is very strong. Like,
dude, that relies on the dogs understanding Scooby, which I don't think is going to be the case. And
they can probably understand for a couple of Scooby snacks. So
I don't think, if I can't get my dog to do basic things, I don't know if Scooby can get a group of dogs I don't know. Maybe there's a language I don't know. I can honestly say I didn't think about that. I don't think it's a real threat, but it's a possibility.
Snacks.
Yeah.
I think on one hand, like, yeah, Shaggy walks in, you could probably convince him to join your team and work in the dog place for free. So free labor there. Nothing wrong with that. But on the other hand, Velma's showing up looking for him at some point and poking around, getting her nose into stuff, and she's smart, that one. So now you got to deal with her.
You can't. No, it's just the one guy. It's the premise of the question is who's the one person walking in. It's not who's the team walking in. I don't think the other cast of VeggieTales are showing up trying to help out the cucumber.
Bring them. We thirst.
No, that's not how that works. But anyways.
All right.
Okay.
Reasonable pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was as safe as it gets. My backup was Jar Jar Binks if I needed it.
Jar Jar Binks. I would think I would like Jar Jar Binks better, to be honest. Yeah.
And that's fair. All right. We're finally there. We've done the top 5 categories, and we are finally on to the PG-rated Dastardly plot. I don't know how PG-rated Tyler's plot is. It sounds quite scary, but my plot, relatively PG-rated. Nobody gets hurt or anything. But I think it's pretty scary for everybody involved. And I think if this was going to be, out there, that would be a problem. And so what do I have? I got Loki. I got Pikachu. I got, who is my cartoon? Oh, the Brain. And I got I got Shaggy trying to thwart this, and he doesn't know how to use technology. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Brain's knowledge of technology, and I'm going to use Loki's shape-shifting ability to be able to log into people's computers and cell phones using their face scan features, and I'm going to release everybody's internet search histories online. I'm going to put it out there to the public. Now, everybody knows what everybody's looked up, all the websites everybody's been to. It's all out there. All your searches, everything. Every time you've creeped somebody on Instagram, every nefarious website you've looked at, it's all online. And no reason other than just, I want to cause mayhem. I want to cause destruction. And in order to power my computing technology, I obviously got to use Pikachu for his electricity capabilities. And I'm just going to put those two guys to work, and I'm going to create some serious problems. So that's my diabolical plan.
Yeah, does it capture incognito mode stuff too?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, we're in trouble then.
Thank you. That obviously I'm like everybody's aware. Yes, no, it's anything you don't think that like keystrokes are a thing? I got the brain on this.
Okay.
You want to do it on your phone and not on your computer? I got Loki to take your form and log into your cell phone. Nothing is safe, Adam. Nothing.
Yeah, it's a good plan. I think originally you said you're like, my plan is a minor inconvenience. Oh, that is not a minor inconvenience.
Well, nobody's gonna get hurt, but it's pretty scary.
I'm pretty clean. I don't search too many weird things, so
no, definitely not.
I'm clean here. But I know some people. There's parts of the internet that I don't even know about, and I know some people are going to get exposed for that. So it's a pretty diabolical plan. I think your team's okay for doing it, but it seems like a bit of a tech problem, and a tech company, nice value add with the doggy daycare. I get that, So yeah, it's a plan. Tito, what do you think?
I just have one thing to say, and that's identity theft is not a joke, Tim. I'm appalled.
Millions of
that you would even
families
suggest it.
Millions of families suffer every year.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Adam.
Yeah. Okay. So my team, I have Mojo Jojo, Cruella de Vil, Godzilla. I've got the aquarium. I've got Cusco. Trying to thwart my plan. So summer's coming up, and you know what people like during the summer? White Claws. So I don't know if you guys are economics majors or anything, but supply, if you control the supply, you can control the price. So my team, what they're going to do is they're going to buy all of the White Claw and hoard it. And so that way they can set the price. So I don't need to run a business out of my lair. I don't need it to be a dual use space. That's just the lair. That's company headquarters where we sell the White Claw back to the people, and we can charge ridiculous rates for it. Mojo Jojo's down. Cruella de Vil is down. Godzilla, what is he doing? He's protecting the stash of White Claw I have in the Nevada desert that no one can find. So I think it's a good plan, especially this time of year. So I'm buying up all the White Claw and hoarding it. So
I'm jumping in right away. Number one.
Yeah.
Your villains have nothing to do. Like, great plan. I genuinely, that I like the creativity. I think it would hit hard to a lot of people that we know. And it resonates. No criticism of the plan.
Especially with summer coming up.
Like, I don't get your villain.
Likes White Claw.
Your monster choice makes sense to me now. Full stop.
Oh.
Your villain choice doesn't make sense to me. Oh no, am I fuzzy?
Yeah, you're good. You're good now.
Okay. Your villain choice doesn't make sense to me. Like, what does Cruella de Vil or Mojo Jojo have to do with White Claw? You picked an animal hating and child hating villain, and White Claw isn't suitable for animals or children.
Well, you think they both want a ridiculous amount of money, and you think after a hard day of being a villain, they don't enjoy a nice White Claw?
Of course they do, but you could have. There's way better options if what you're targeting is, 29-year-old Twitch streamers. I feel like
I'm not targeting them. I'm targeting one of the biggest markets out there. Okay. And no one's going to notice. It's going to be like, oh, I went to the LCBO and they were out of White Claws. It's like, oh, did you go to another one? Yeah, I went too. And then all of a sudden, everyone just realized the whole world's out of White Claw. And so you have to... Yeah.
Okay, Cottage Springs, neutrals. There's other choices, and you picked villains that hate.
You want to have the other ones though. Do you?
you picked villains that hate animals and children, and then hoarded alcohol from the adult population.
Terrible people. It's a terrible thing to do, and they're terrible people, so they're down with it.
As I said, great plan.
I got good
great
monster. Protecting it.
Yeah. And I don't know how the sharks play into it, but they're around. I wouldn't want to invade a lair that had sharks and Godzilla protecting the stash. I get that.
Would you want to celebrate the mountains of money you've won with a nice cold White Claw beside a shark aquarium? I would if I was a villain. So
Right.
that's just a Friday thing we do in the workplace for good vibes on our villain team. So
Okay, Tito, I've hoarded
I
all
will
that
say-
criticism. You go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, hilarious, great, very good. I love it. Other than the fact you're storing them in the desert. Now, what happens when you heat a bunch of cans of White Claw?
yeah, it's my lair is underground. So.
Oh, okay. That's fair then. But
we
yeah,
built
I
it,
mean,
we built it just big enough to store all the White Claw in the world. So
so what will prevent them from making more?
oh, that's a good. Well, when they make more, we'll buy it first anyway.
Well,
so.
because you have the money, right?
Yeah,
that's
From
fair.
what?
Yeah,
What do you have the money from? From
the other ones?
From selling the other White Claws.
It's infinite supply then.
Timmy, let me explain economics to you.
I mean, are you like first in the line at the liquor stores at the?
You gonna try and
Yeah.
buy Godzilla?
If anything,
Yeah.
Tito's gnomes sound like they're better suited for this job because there's a lot of them and they can go line up at all the stores and buy them all. I don't know.
Gnomes, you need to check every gnome's ID. It's a whole hassle.
I
Godzilla
would not check
Godzilla
Godzilla's idea. All right, I like it. All right, Tito, what do you got?
I'm just glad I got my White Claw fix already.
That is true. Store them up.
Stock up.
Hoard
You
them
heard it
now.
here.
Toilet paper of 2021. Here we go.
All right. So we have Umbridge, government bureaucrat, school administrator. We have Lex Luthor, billionaire, CEO. We got a bunch of gnomes, and Larry the cucumber is showing up. So what we're going to do is we've got Umbridge in working the back channels, making sure all of the teachers have really terrible setups at their house. Just real poor internet. They're choosing the worst software because what we're trying to do is cancel as much online school as we possibly can and just really extend that online school cycle with Umbridge working the government. Because what we want is kids to stop going to school and start playing our LexCorp video games as pushed by the Paul brothers, XQC, and other scummy boys. So they're spending all of their parents' cash on those in-game cosmetics, and we just pump. It's just a money printer, baby. It's just all money all day. We'll buy Adam's White Claw business. We'll be White Claw and video games. We'll have it all.
Hey man, Ninja does Red Bull. They do G Fuel. Throw White Claws in there, man.
And
That's a
then
real
why
deal.
gnomes, you might ask?
Yes.
Well, somebody gets smart and they set up a new data center somewhere to pump zoom in. The gnomes are flying in through the vents and just unplugging all the wires from the servers. Who's going to plug those back in? They'll tie them in knots. You can't do it.
Gnomes are very what's the word?
Nimble, dexterous.
Dexterous. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so
That's a lot to absorb.
yeah, Captain from America brings up a very good point. How is this going to fit into our Instagram?
Yeah,
box?
yeah. You are banking on the votes from the
Cancel online
viewers.
school.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so
Nefarious.
instead of learning, they're just playing the LexCorp video games, and you can teach them whatever you want.
Complacent public.
That's pretty dastardly playing there.
That is.
I would agree. Yeah.
I listen. That's genius. I'm
Yeah.
surprised Lex Luthor has not thought of this already.
His name is Bezos.
I don't. Yeah. Hey, well, they just canceled one of their big. But yeah, no. Hey, listen. New World, Amazon's new big game coming out this year. You never know.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
This is a thing?
it's a big MMO that they're launching. It's supposed to compete with like World of Warcraft. Yeah, and they spent a lot of money on it. So, yeah. I mean, this is tough, man. Like you've painted a picture. What happens if the world goes back to normal and kids go back to school? You know.
We got Umbridge, baby. She just magics up some solution, babe.
Okay.
Back home with you, playing those video games.
All right.
Make it mobile too. So like your kids in class are being like,
You
what am
got
I
'em
learning
all.
Yeah, you can do multi-platforms.
Yeah.
You got them on their
Algebra?
lunch breaks.
No,
Yeah.
I'm learning.
No, I'm playing algebra.
No, that's it. That's so you're corrupting the youth and printing money. That's what you're trying to do. That's your goal.
We're just giving them what they want. Who wants to go to school? I'd rather play video games all day.
School is for nerds, I've heard. So.
That's true. Don't go to school.
I'm not one of those. Are you?
No. I'm the bad boy of this podcast, like I mentioned before.
Yeah, Nyko's got a good question. Do you have like Ready Player One goals in mind where it's just like people don't even leave their houses, it's just virtual reality? Or is it like, or are you just happy making the next big thing, make some money for a few years? Like, what's your evolution scheme?
It's not a few years. We control the streaming platforms. We're pushing everything we create. They'll just eat it up just forever.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, we've completed the draft. This was a different one. We'll run through the picks here. So, I will let Tito recover after that explanation. Adam, why don't you take us through your choices?
Yeah, for a movie villain, I went Cruella de Vil. For a cartoon villain, I went Mojo Jojo. For monster, I went Godzilla. For evil layer feature, I went Shark Aquarium. Sorry. For bumbling hero, I went Cusco. And for PG rated dastardly plot, I went Hoarding White Claw. So
evil. All right. I had Loki as my movie villain, the shape-shifting capabilities. I had the Brain from Pinky and the Brain. I had Pikachu as my pocket monster. I had a doggy daycare for my evil lair feature. I had Shaggy Rogers from Scooby-Doo as my bumbling hero. And I had release everybody's internet browser history to the world as my diabolical plan. Tito, what do you got?
Movie villain, we've got Dolores Umbridge from Harry Potter. Cartoon villain, we've got Lex Luthor from Superman. Our monster is a very large gnome made of gnomes. Our evil lair feature is a streamer studio. Our bumbling hero is Larry the Cucumber from VeggieTales. And our dastardly plot is to cancel all school so kids play more video games.
All right. Well, some of those are more realistic than others. It's scary how some of them are actually realistic, but I don't know. That was a good one.
I have a cucumber rolling around in my fridge right now, so yeah.
You better get it there. And
watch out.
And that summarizes one draft. Why don't we summarize the other drafts for the night? So Tito, how was your double IPA this evening?
Tasty. Inoffensive, no complaints there. Doesn't taste like an 8%er, so watch out, it's a sneaker.
Was it suitable for a villain?
It didn't taste villainous, but it tasted good. So
well, when you're evil, everything tastes
good.
Yeah. Okay. Adam, what about you?
Mine was pretty good. I think probably like this episode 11, it would probably be in like the top 5 so far. Pretty crisp, pretty bitter, but bitterness is expected with double IPAs. So didn't fit the bunny with the chainsaw into my draft, but that's okay. There's always next draft.
So, yeah, you never know. Yeah, mine was good. I enjoyed it. I like a good IPA. It wasn't strong, but definitely had some bop to it. It was delicious. I would say, I would say 9 out of 12 on the Space Invader. So I would definitely have again. So Tito, before we sign off, any shout outs you want to make? Any last remarks? Anything you wanna say before we go?
I'm good.
All right.
I said it all.
I think Tito's kind of, sent it like people. You got some deep down scaring it. I felt the villainy in the passion that you had for the plan tonight. I don't know. I thought you had this well thought out, and if I ever hear about a video game to that extent. I'm going to be making a call being like, hey, man, what have you been doing for the last few weeks? But no, I thought you had some great choices tonight. Adam, you too. I thought that was a fun draft. Adam, how'd you feel about your picks? You feel good?
Yeah, I think I feel actually pretty good about mine. I think it was, some of them were a little out there, but I think overall, I think it was a good draft and excited to see what people think when they vote on Drafts and Drafts podcast on Instagram. and we will leave the voting open once again until Sunday. So Sunday night or Monday morning, we'll post the results, and we'll see who comes out on top.
Yeah. Make sure you hit us up on Instagram. I almost said on the Instagram. Jesus Christ. Make sure you hit us up. I was gonna say you can DM us if you can't respond to the story right away. Feel free to send your vote. As always, we appreciate the follows. We appreciate all the support. We love doing this. Week 11, it's crazy. We're having a great time doing it. So we really, really do appreciate everybody showing up on Tuesdays and afterwards, watching us and listening to us. So thank you for the support. And we'll be sticking around for the after show momentarily. But with that, the picks have been made. The kegs run dry. We will be back next week. Thank you so much, everybody, for all your support, as I said. And we will see everybody soon. Have a good night.
See you guys.